Good evening. Despite a packed house at Fort Wayne City Council tonight, an ordinance to revise the grievance process for city employees will not move forward. News Channel 15's Sara Wagner was there and has more.
The ordinance would have changed the grievance process if an employee is disciplined or fired, something city employees felt they deserved after the repeal of collective bargaining last year. Councilman John Schoaf introduced the ordinance before a room full of city workers.
It was an effort to develop a fair process that all the workers would trust to resolve conflicts with management of any kind.
Right now, a 3-member board holds a hearing if there's a dispute. The mayor's office appoints 2 of those people, and city council picks the 3rd. The ordinance would add a 3rd-party arbitrator if the city or employee chooses to appeal the decision.
But I think it's essential, if you want to get justice, that you've got to have the person deciding a dispute be a person who has no interest in the outcome of the dispute.
After a long discussion, council voted 5-3 to not approve the ordinance. That means the issue won't get introduced at a council committee meeting and will no longer be up for discussion. Council President John Crawford voted against the ordinance tonight.
I vote for 99% of ordinances to introduce and come to committee, but this one, it would just have been bad public policy.
Crawford doesn't think there's been enough time for the policy put in place after the repeal of collective bargaining.
That earth was plowed last year. In fact, it was pretty much turned to scorched earth last year. To go back there in an election year for something that at the end, I know council wouldn't have passed it.
Workers were visibly upset to hear the ordinance wouldn't be moving forward. Their representation says they've worked with council members for 6 months on the issue, and council members said they would be willing to look at it.
I don't think their claims were valued at all. I think what they said was that they wanted to stay on their party lines, and they would refuse the workers to have a voice at work.
Council did take up another controversial issue this evening. It approved the introduction of a consulting contract for the $11 million West State Boulevard project. That consulting contract, which is worth nearly $500,000, is expected to be further discussed at next week's meeting. Sara Wagner, News Channel 15.